Welcome to the PCL, guys, Paladins Console League. Of course, hope you guys enjoyed some awesome European sets earlier today. Now, we're in North America, though. We're going to have Hydra Gaming versus heating up in this case. I'm joined here by Gormizer, and I'm going to be very, very excited for this upcoming set that we have. Of course, we have second seed versus the last seed, I believe.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be, I think, more interesting overall. This is one of those regions that, you're looking at Onslaught right now as the team that's looking to qualify. And it's one of those things I'm pretty sure, and this is just based on the notes I have in front of me, if Onslaught is able to win, or if Hydra loses, regardless of whatever happens, they're going to be able to kind of continue moving forward. It's been a lot of 3-0s here for Onslaught, and I think this is the one that would seal the deal if they win this one, just because 10-0, no one would be able to catch them in the rest of the weeks.
Yeah, I mean, of course, we have, once again, Gore already mentioned it. You can see it right there. 9-0 already, undefeated for Onslaught. Hydra Gaming is following up very close to second. Strimix is at third, and Heating Up is in last with 0-9 currently.
And that's kind of the big thing. I mean, of their 9 sets, they've dropped 2 maps.
Right.
And that's kind of where you want to look at when you're Onslaught. Hydra, though, has been kind of I want to say, I don't know if breath of fresh air is appropriate considering how much they're still kind of trailing, but someone that's still in second, someone that's still competing in this region, it's very inverse to what you would expect. Normally when you look at EU and NA, normally Europe slowly but surely gets less contested and there's only one team, and NA becomes 4 or 5 teams that are all fighting each other. Here it's been the exact opposite. I mean, Europe has been very highly contested and North America is almost sealed. Well, one of the regions is sealed.
Right, yeah. I mean, of course, we're going to start off with Game 1. Map 1 with Stone Keep, a very standard pick, but also one that is very welcome across all consoles and PCs alike. We're going to see, of course, what we're going to be doing in picks and bans, see what we're going to get rid of, what we're going to ban, of course. Probably nothing too different than the Norman, of course, Vivian. It's going to be the first one that's going to be taken off the board.
Yeah, like you said, not too surprising. Same thing for Talus. It's also, I think, worth pointing out, these teams, again, this is the 4th time that they have all met this week. And Hydra has 3-0'd Heating Up every single time. And this is a team that has fallen far from grace here in Heating Up from where it used to be. But for once, Atlas is going to slip through and maybe make a big difference.
Well, I mean, on the flip side of that, Makoa is left open as well. Hydra, I'm going to go for the Victor Barrick, the very second and third pick here. Not actually pressured enough to actually take the Makoa. At the same time, I believe we talked about it a little bit before, at least somewhere in the past. I believe Atlas and Makoa aren't that great together.
Yeah, every time we've seen Atlas and Makoa on a team together, they lose a lot.
Yeah.
They just don't have the same control. And it's that concept where it's like they're both really great, really winning off tanks. But when you put them together, they only off-tank very well. They don't really have one that you think, okay, let's put this guy on the objective and see what happens. Like, nah, it never works out that way for him. And so they, in concept, seem like it should be the most stacked team you could possibly get. 2 of the best champions in the game. In reality, we just haven't seen it work that way.
Well, of course, I mean, we're going to see that Leon, Tyra are going to be locked in on Heating Up side. Hydra opting to go for the Makoa Furia. This already looked like a pretty stacked team as it is. I mean, Victor, Barrick, Makoa, potentially a Furia. More than likely going to be locked in, though, because we've seen her prioritization all day, and she is going to be finalized for Hydra in this case. Yeah, that team's looking pretty stacked. I don't know what Heating Up can really respond with in this case. I mean, Leon Tyra's already pretty good, too, though.
Yeah, I mean, being able to come through Tyra, very, very good at burning through tanks. Leon, very good at applying anti-heal through Cauterize. With Atlas there to kind of control, I think, the flow of the game, have a little bit of shield as well as a good chunk of damage from himself. I think you kind of equal things out. The only thing Heating Up are truly missing in my eyes is someone who is very solid, like Anara instead of Khan there. Just someone who is solid on the objective. Khan is a little shakier. He can point tank, but it's not always the strongest for him.
I mean, locking out your draft with Bomb King on Hydra side, especially on Stone Keep, that's going to be really hard for Heating Up to try and contest. I mean, they've got their hit scan presences, but at the same time, they don't have extremely powerful front lines like Hydra have. They've got the hit scan, they've got the Bomb King, they've got the Furia, and we, on the other hand, have a Game 1. We're about to head right into it to see what they have in store for us on Stone Keep.
Thank you very much, Gore and Fawn, and we got another one that has serious high-res Expo qualifier implications. Hydra 3 wins down in this region with this counting 3 weeks left with this game counting. So if they lose, no matter what, they go out. Hydra backs against the wall. Dolson and Kresnik on the call for you. This is one that you expect Hydra to win, though.
Yeah, I would say so. Just because there's so much parity in this region.
Yeah.
It is literally 9-0, 6-3, 3-6, 0-9.
Right.
And the 0-9 heating up. It's going to be a tough road for them to climb if they want to. I mean, it wouldn't be anything for them. It would be purely to kill the dreams of Hydra at this point.
And Hydra not stumbling too frequently. Great double setback when you make plays like that. Maybe you give yourself a great fighting chance. Atrix, the first big play in this one, but Hydra, they've been fighting from the point the entire time.
Yeah, 63% now. Finally stopping with the aggression from heating up. Having Atlas and Khan very, very, very forward comp, but once it comes down to sustain, things might fall off, especially with that Victor on the other side now picking off the Atlas. Trying to go back in, but the stun from the beam catches out the Khan for heating up, and Hydra's just walking all over them.
Yeah, now Hydra just start to snowball this one a little bit out of control. Mew Mew on the Drogos, the Victor. That's not a Drogos, that is a human man and not a flying dragon.
Full moon skin? Maybe.
That's true. Could be different. Overtime expiring here, heating up, getting pushed back. Fiery Impact grabs the final kill. Hydra Gaming grab point number 1.
They have such a solid comp, I think, for this map. Victor, Bomb King, two very, very lethal DPSs. And we all know how impactful Makoa can be. These Furious stunts have been even more!
Wow.
A double straight down through Banana.
And that sets up everything else. I mean, it's one thing if you get it, if the team's not there to follow up, that's important as well. Both of those pieces have been in here. Hatsu Chibi, some big plays, 5 assists for the Furia, and all 5 of them really on the back of some great stunts.
Yeah, and some great heals too, really keeping the rest of their team up. And now, Atlas up top with a good setback.
one more.
They're all just sitting behind cover. This man has heat-seeking beams.
Yeah.
I'm convinced now at this point. To be fair, everyone holds up top, but hitting him this consistently is
True.
huge.
Not sure he would have been in range to follow up with a kill anyway, but definitely stalls out some aggression. Now Atrix pushed back up onto the high ground. Fiery Impact looking for some AoE shots around the corner. Good whirlwind at the last possible second comes in, stalls things out for heating up. Crossfire, knocked up, knocked back. His Airman now getting plugged away. Fiery Impact finally rounds the corner and grabs the kill.
That's how I got the full Bomb King experience from start to finish. Pop beat into a grumpy into being shot around the corner. Everything you could want and more. And looks like Hydra are going to get everything they want from this push too. This looks like an immediate conversion unless this Atlas has something to say about it. And it's being pretty quiet right now, I'd say.
Yeah, he's got nothing to say there. Trying to drop down immediately. Second chance back. Nothing but death awaits there. 2 kills total for heating up. One onto Fiery Impact, one onto Izzy Tyler. And they were both at the very beginning of that last mid. This is a convincing stone keep. 3 minutes and 40 seconds in from Hydra.
Yeah, and I liked how Hydra did play that kind of a little defensive. They lost Fiery Tyler very early, but I think keeping that point control and having the objective pressure early, you mentioned it. They had like, what, 60% more or less unanswered? Having that makes it so much easier to get that retake. If you don't have that cap time, if you focus somewhere else, maybe they get like 30%. Now your retake gets a lot dicier. So very smart to have that objective focus. And it makes sense considering they have the only point tank in the game.
That's true. And, you know, on the flip side for heating up, you can't always count on a big double setback to tee up a fight for you effectively on a silver platter.
Maybe you can.
Maybe you can. Every single time. Atrix pulls him back, and Airman grabs the kill. That's a risky spot to be fighting against Atlas. Fiery Impact grabs the kill. Dome Shield not under much duress, but just to maybe counter out what heating up are trying to counter out.
Yeah, maybe a little bit early, but it still got the job done in terms of just delaying this fight. 84% on the cap, 0 for heating up, and Hydra still have control on this keep side. Once this barracks rehealed, he's definitely going to continue that pressure, and no way for Cougar to answer with his shield getting bursted down like that.
Fiery Impact positioning himself perfectly right behind that shield. Now King Bomb rolling on through, might find a stun onto Atrix, does not grab the kill, and second chance is up. So heating up have been able to stall out just a little bit. Mew Mew grabs a kill, but Airman kills off the Victor, and now heating up with Fast Capper zoning out.
Oh, great use of the Inflame and the shield to get Hatsuchibi out. Setback pulls back the Makoa, but he wasn't in that rough of a position. That Burn Monster in the way, though, means he can't slide in. I think his dash got wasted, and they only have the Barrack to touch, but look at the positioning by heating up with the Whirlwind. This is great for them. Yeah,
Whirlwind doing big things for heating up right now, and they have 3 ultimates if they just need to confirm. Big kill there from Parallax. Enlightenment finds a target, but so does Barrage. Mew from the backline gets a kill. But Hydra Gaming down to 2 members, neither of which are in range or really want to be the guys to contest. Good fight there from Heating Up, and they grab their first point.
Honestly, I think Heating Up played that as well as they could have. I think Hydra played that really well.
Yeah.
They got Hatsuchiki out of a dire situation with the Exile, but just too much to answer from Heating Up. That Burn Monster doing a very large job of zoning. The
Yeah,
burn,
that was
the
big.
Triple from the fire did so much at stopping the Makoa from touching, and it separated the Barrack, Tyler, so much from his team that there was nothing they could really do.
There's a big difference maker there. Firebomb just keeping Fiery Impact back. Does actually stand on it and chunks down like 200 health. Not a big difference maker, but could have been if there was somebody waiting around the corner. 6, 3, and 5 for the Bomb King. Hatsuchibi still at 0 deaths in this game. The uptime of this Furia and the potential that he's brought to the table have been big for Hydra.
Actually, I want to see the healing charts to see how much of a difference that's made. Grover's still ahead, but only 2 deaths on Caden, so that makes sense. And Grover has so much constant healing that it's impressive for the Fury to be keeping up. Inflame now back up, probably because of this healing output, and might want to use it defensively. It depends on if that stasis field is up or not, because no matter what, that shield can block an endless amount of damage, boosted or not.
They are holding down top relatively well. Atrix around the corner. Parallax. Getting some good cleave damage there, though. Payload is inching a little bit closer. They finally start to win this this right-hand side fight. Fiery Impact and Mew combining for a couple. Now things for Heating Up. Go searching for one more. Hydra have 5 ultimates. Heating Up starting to get there. But this Bomb King has been paying off for him.
Yeah, and I was actually about to say, I'm surprised Fiery's getting the impact that he is, because I feel like I did not intend that, but I'm glad that you caught it, because I wouldn't have even noticed.
Just a little chuckle.
I think they should swap the BK and the Victor. I think the BK should be up top, because being able to pressure around corners is really important, and Mew can sit right there, a couple steps back, and zone this entire area, more or less so. And look, they've already swapped Fiery up top now to get this corner pressure. Victor on the right side. I think they realized after a minute of like, man, all I can do up here is grenade. Enlightenment coming up does not connect on Fiery even when he was barely around the corner.
He was able to escape that one. Exile starting out for Atrix here, but there's nobody really left. He uses 2 of them. One more plug shot onto Mew, gets the kill. Atrix has to second chance his way back down, but he does get full health as the Dome Shield goes down as well. Fiery Impact from that high ground spot. Finding some good kills, a little bit of damage here as Grumpy Bomb looks to zone.
How is Tyler alive? He was in the Burn Monster in his Dome Shield for quite a while.
Whoa.
Made a huge difference. Very aggressive off of the in-play. Misfiring and 2 immediately, and they get him back for free.
That's a big double kill. Right back to the high ground. And Hydra Gaming, I'm not going to say they get away with one there, because even if he didn't get rewound, he still grabbed a double kill. But big defense there, and one more example of why that Bomb King very important here.
I've never seen a setback get so much negative value before. I just found that really impressive. This Barrage, I think, did a pretty okay job at zoning, but look at that shred from the Burn Monster.
Yeah.
It's definitely one way to answer the Makoa. If you can keep him stuck in there, it can really burn through, but I mean, Leviathan gives him that CC immunity. He'll be able to dash out of the Burn Monster as long as his Ancient Rage is up.
And, it is up right now, as he's 4-2 and 7, so something to look out for. Inflame was used at the end there, as well as the Dome Shield, so something to keep your eyes on. But Exiles and Enlightenment also down, so I don't know if I'd call it even footing, but at least numbers-wise, they're on relatively similar playing fields.
It's a very different playstyle, and actually the Firebomb being used lower is going to make this a lot tougher. Look at the potential of this King Bomb here! It's massive! It cleaves through everybody! Everyone's stunned. Tyra trying to do something with the crossfire, but she just can't!
Oh my, you see that coming from a mile away. They're all stacked on Banana. And yeah, they cut back a little bit with the Whirlwind, but it's not enough to get him out of the range. Big King Bomb there. Fiery Impact does die, but he helps win his team that fight, and now they're fighting backwards. Big overpower to maybe turn things back for Heating Up.
It equalizes, but I mean, they got rid of somebody. They're all in the Banana. No one's really moving to the objective. The grenades just piercing through all of them now. They're finally making it to the objective, but they don't have really a sustaining point tank like Hydra do.
And they are gonna give themselves a setback. Fiery Impact. Oh, I'll rehash it. Having an impact from the high ground. Kills Parallax here, and now in the back behind this Tyra. Just a few more bombs. All they maybe need. Heating Up back onto the point, into the shield. His business. Things starting to slow down just for a moment as Grumpy Bomb looks to find some value.
Fire lived with 4 HP there. Oh, maybe a little over-aggressive here, but his Makoa is just there in time. No shout now to survive this pressure. I think Exile's being used, but look how much time there is still left. It was used a little bit early by then.
Yeah, 85% in climbing for heating up. Business gets the kill. Izzy Tyler back in there as well, and with Atlas going down, you're relying on a Khan to contest. Not really where you want to be. A double kill for the Barrack is Fiery Impact. He dies, but he zones out so effectively for so long. Look for Kumu to maybe drop down and turn things around. Overtime expiring, and so does the life of Khan. They're back in range. They're just going to fall 1, 2, 3. Izzy Tyler holding down the point. That's a setback from Atrix. He's not going to be in range, and Hydra grab win number 1.
Second chance sometimes can really do you like that.
Yeah.
You second chance, suddenly you're all the way back in your fire like, well, this isn't where I want to be. This is unfortunate.
That's right.
Sometimes, and people use the bigger duration on that too,
right.
And it really can do that to you. But again, that's kind of not having that strong point tank in the end in those desperate situations. If your Firebomb from your Burn Monster isn't just deleting the enemy point tank, you're at such a big disadvantage in those sustaining fights.
And it feels like Heating Up just kept fighting into that keep side against Fiery Impact. Like, I don't know, do you maybe change up where you're positioning? Because they were fighting in close quarters against the Bomb King a good bit.
I mean, the Bomb King was just slowing them down. I think
Sure.
they probably should have played outside, but their comp, I think, was really brawly. I guess the Leon can kind of play outside, but your Tyra really wants to be on that staircase.
Sure.
Maybe they could have changed things up, but I mean, in the last fight, everyone rushed them in keep, and Fiery Impact was huge in that final fight, being able to just burst through all of them. Maybe disengage when you see them all, but in the other fights, I don't think it was that rough.
That's true. No, that's very fair. I mean, that final King Bomb, as you point out, I mean, that's like Christmas morning. You go into the King Bomb, and there's 3, 4 people just waiting to get stunned out and killed. And I loved this play. Big Poppy Bomb grabs a double kill. Right back to the high ground. Yeah, the fight was expiring anyway, but a funny interaction to see nonetheless.
Yeah, for sure. Imagine if BK could just do that.
That would be nice, wouldn't it?
That would be really sick, honestly. But huge gameplay from him. I think really being able to show why Bomb King is so good on that map and on console in general. We really don't get to see him that much,
true.
but on the maps where he's impactful, he can still make a huge impact.
It's a great point in that, you know, Bomb King in the PPL, PML has started to come out a little bit. Not so much in the console league, but you can see when you play it well, can definitely turn things around. Hydra, they got to win this set to stay in the conversation, and they do so in game number 1. Find out if they do it in game number 2 right after this break.
INAP, powering the control room for the Paladins console league.
What colors fade my disbelief and make me forget my memory. Rent a car you can't afford, put on a song that we both know. Let your hair out in the wind. Put the pedal to the floor, flame your light and take a smoke. Put your broken rip off, wafers on. Doesn't matter if the sun goes down, we'll still be up, still be up. Don't care about the place we found. We'll still be up, still be up. We're in this together, we both fall down. Doesn't matter if the sun goes up, cause we will still be high when the lights out.
Welcome back, guys. Game 1 already in the books. I had my opinions coming into this game, and I was right, at least in Game 1. Hydra Gaming did extremely well. That Bomb King played such a huge role, Gore, and I saw that throughout the set. Well, not throughout the set, but throughout the game. They didn't really have an answer for it.
Very, very similar to the Drogos at the end of the last set, where it was just unanswered blaster damage that was going to be coming through. You have to be able to change a little bit more to deal with him. And, well, Hydra just looked good doing it. Again, it's been 3-0s in the past for these two teams as they faced each other. And they're already starting off on a good track for them, at least to keep them in the conversation for qualifiers.
Yeah, I mean, Bright Marsh is going to be the second map that we're going to be playing on in this case. Of course, Heating Up is going to be the one that has to try and find some way to adapt. I mean, the draft from Hydra last game was near unstoppable. And they definitely proved that, or at least they made it look like that. So if I'm heating up, I have to find some way, or at least some changes to draft that are going to make it extremely interesting. But Makoa not banned again. Hydra's going to lock in Genos first instead.
I actually don't mind this. Again, just when it comes to console meta, I think Genos has been pretty flexible and pretty high priority. This is a map where more often than not, it will come down to like Genos versus Furia, and you will have that fight. I guarantee we will see maybe something similar to that coming through, as long as heating up opt for the Furia, which I can't think of much reasons not to, considering how good that ultimate is. But you had to kind of shake around what you're going to go for, because much like on Stone Keep, if you decide to forego a blaster, Bomb King is really, really good on this, and Hydra already have that one game under their belt to make them comfortable.
That's true. I mean, we've got Vivian, Atlas, Willow, Talus all off the board, so there's one blaster at least that's less that you have to worry about. But of course, you've got the Genos Barrack Leon that already looks pretty good. Khan's going to have a little bit of a rough time trying to get through that. They've got that shield break damage if they need it. But heating up, Gore, they're going for Grover. They're not opting to go for the Fury up before. Instead, they're going to try this sort of, I believe, a Death Ball-esque composition where they're going to have to group up, try and move together as one, and try and just outnumber Hydra throughout these fights.
They could potentially shift the play style for them if they go something like an Eevee or a Maeve at the very end, although that's been far and few between. Like the last few weeks, you can tally it up, and there's a good amount. Today, it has just not been the call, and on Bright Marsh, especially in matches like this where every inch matters, it's just not too likely to see it come through. And other than that, it doesn't really fit in too well with what they have. I think an Eevee could work well, but I just don't know if heating up have it in them.
Yeah, I mean, the reason why I was looking sort of, I don't know, as I am, is because of the fact that Hydra, I mean, you finish off the draft with Tyra Ashe. You've got that damage in, two sources of it. And then on top of that, heating up Bomb King, I do like it. You're talking a little bit about the Eevee, a little bit about the Maeve, but I do like the fact they locked in Bomb King, because you mentioned the fact that Hydra, they've already got one game under the belt. Bomb King is going to be good for heating up here.
And this is a good map for him. You just have to figure out how to control him. Hydra, though, kind of have what they need to control him. A lot of hit scan and a lot of long-range damage to take him down.
And of course, game 2, Bright Marsh. Let's get it.
Oh, we get another Bomb King, and another map where a Bomb King can definitely work. It's Bright Marsh, and it's for heating up this time. Looking to turn things around for themselves in this set just a little bit. Burn Monster, some mixed reviews, some mixed effectiveness on Stone Keep. We'll have to look at the talent screen and see what the Tyra's running this time. But lots of different potential at play. It is Burn Monster to try to zone out a little bit of heating up.
Definitely a little bit worse into the Inara.
Sure.
Purely because Burn Monster's so good into Barrack because of the cripple. I mean, Barrack's sustain is basically purely built off of his ability to dash, and you remove that, you're basically, just by hitting him with the firebomb, you're effectively removing 1,500, 3,000, depending on what level of bowling ball he's using, health just from the game immediately.
Well, if you were super excited to jump down into it, quick pause, you get to see us here instead. I mean, it's not a question of do you like Bomb King on Bright Marsh, because it's definitely a map that works for Bomb King. Does the rest of the team around heating up kind of synergize with that Bomb King, in your opinion?
It is super sustaining. I think this is a great draft from heating up. They just need to perform a little better than they did
it's always the question.
And look at this. Look at this immediate pressure from Fire.
Give me a toe!
He's so close.
Give me a toe!
I think he totally could have done it. He totally could have found the angle, but it's not worth looking at. And Caden, not moving in that doorway, gets burnt down immediately by Fiery. Total apartments control to Hydra.
Yeah, wow, the 1-2 punch. One more shot just on either end of the wall. He stepped out in between shots, was able to get out in time. The timing for Leon has not quite been there, but the kills for Hydra have been. They now eclipse 50%. One more fight back chance maybe from heating up here, but a scary team to fight back into.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, being able to just lock it down with damage amp. When you're not forcing yourself in the way, that's when this comp is going to kind of thrive, when they can just play off of their damage and their range. 96% almost there. Do they have a chance to touch? No. She can't even get in at all.
Yeah, the answer is no. Hydra Gaming grabbed point number 1 in kind of a low of a first fight. They just grab a couple of kills, and it's a great point you bring up when you have the Genos and some good long-range poke with the Leon, lots of consistent damage from something like a Tyra. Good situation for Burn Monster. It's not a great scenario for heating up to fight back into to try to retake.
Yeah, as long as Hydra can climb that initial hill of making it through the team, that's when the rest of
Right.
that's when their comp is going to just absolutely thrive. Look at this stall for Business here, slowing everybody down in front of Fiery, and that's ideal. Being able to cleave multiple targets with that presence is great. And Tyler finds a hole on the right, picks off Caden in the middle of the team.
Yeah, Caden has not had a lot of uptime in these two important factors, whether it's the mid-fight or this first choke point. Grover has just been caught out a couple of times. Hatsu Chibi through time and space, up and down goes Airman. Big kill there for Hydra to kind of kick down this door. That's breaking the first choke point here as well. Now Heating Up are going to have to start diving down from the back of their base and really choosing their positioning carefully.
If this stagger happens,
Caden,
and
no!
yes, it will. Caden caught in the corner. They're trying to stagger them out. Crossfire to make it happen a little bit more, but not even sure if that was worth spending. It's just Kumu caught behind the wall.
He poked out a
and the
little bit
tree,
of
and
damage.
For sure he's going to go down, yeah. And now there's no way anyone can contest. Look at the health on the con. No one can make it in. Bomb King will try, but he's going to immediately go down.
You thought the poppy bomb from Airman was a
listen,
contest.
my decision would be not to give the Tyra more ultimate, but if that's what they wanted to do, I mean, I'm not going to say no.
There's no way
If I'm
anyone
Mew,
can
I'm
contest.
happy.
And then Poppy Bomb
There's no way
yeets over
anyone,
the tree.
there's no way anyone should have contested. They gave them
Sure.
more ult, and now that Tyra went from 10% on a crossfire all the way back up to 45. Now that's going to be a threat in this next fight.
Oh no, those slash lines are kind of sad looking as well. Parallax with the one kill for Heating Up. A fast 3.5 minute first round. Hydra looking for a cap and another take, or another push rather, to end this game. It's an interesting conversation though. I mean, at what point, if you're a DPS, do you not bother jumping down and trying to contest?
I think when your tanks are staggered so much that going in won't change the way it
Sure.
Your tank has to be on the point
Right.
unless you can 1v3. If they're all super low, go in. Maybe you hit all your shots, maybe they miss one or two and you manage to make it work. But with the con so low, with the Inara dead, I just don't think
Yeah, that
it
wasn't
was
really
worth
the
it.
case.
Yeah.
they were full health
Yeah.
and in a great spot. Kind of by the side. King Business maybe looking for an opening there, but just found the side, or the bookshelf here, whatever that is being stored in the apartments. Assert dominance, up, down from Business. Stalls out Atrix, and the rest of the kills still cascading for Hydra Gaming here. Just a complete stagger from Atrix as Parallax now throws a grenade. Didn't realize maybe that Leon was waiting right around the corner, and this is an even more difficult zone to break than the first one.
Yeah, you can tell how forward they're going. Fiery finding the better of Parallax twice in a row. That first barrage, all it ended up doing was magnifying the Enlightenment, heading straight towards his face.
I see it now.
That's a Phoenix. That's a respawn timer. Unfortunate. Hydra get another one. Burn Monster bouncing off the sign, but they don't really need it for how dominant their point fights have been.
Burn Monster does take away some damage onto Yumu himself, but
Does that count towards his damage stats? That's smart.
that's a great question. I'm not sure. You just stand in your own firebomb and maybe you're padding your stats, so I'll have to report back on that one. Parallax finally having an impact on this defense. Seismic crash as well from the Inara. Keeps things just in the balance for Heating Up right now. Fiery Impact grabs another kill onto Caden, who's had a difficult time finding space in this game to get involved.
Yeah, and Kane continuously going down. So much pressure from everybody on the team. Makes it tough for Grover to live in the core here. Inara now going to... Oh, this is a bad time to die for that Inara, too. Especially since they're delaying the kill.
Here's your stagger.
Caden's down again. Now, no heals for the contest on the card. The only kills on the entirety of Heating Up are for Parallax. Overpower doesn't connect. It doesn't. So that's the biggest ultimate gone, more or less.
Parallax has 2 of 2 kills in this game. King Bomb connects, but no kill for Airman. Payload moving closer. Payload goes in. And a sub-7 minute win for Hydra Gaming. And we'll look at stats in a minute, but there were 2 kills total for Heating Up in that game.
I wish there was something I could break it down.
Break it down, Kresnik.
Go
Do
to
it,
the
man.
nitty-gritty. That was just a one-sided affair.
Maybe this is truly just, you brought it up at the beginning, Heating Up. He had a pretty good draft, but you have to perform. I mean, you know, all things considered, left, right, if Hydra Gaming are just playing better, that's the end-all be-all.
Yeah, for sure. And having that Generous in their composition, I think, made it
Ouch.
really strong defensively. Just morale boost 1 on the Grover. DR at 3, maybe up that a little bit. Maybe help the sustain a little bit more. But this Generous, we saw some good through time and spaces connecting here. Airman could not get out of the way in time. overall solid play. I think the damage amplification on double backline really, really lethal if they can't break through your front line.
And they could not. There were two kills. There were 2 kills in this game for heating up, both of them onto the Tyra. So difference maker there. This is the King Bomb. Actually, if you look, right in front here, he gets the stun, and the through time and space peels for his frontliner there. So you might be looking at 1 death for your Ashe, but good through time and space stalls it out.
Yeah, for sure. It could have been really close. And honestly, Untitled Chapter could have gotten a double there. Just a little bit higher, but we knew the con was there. They didn't. Right. Either way, Hydra, so dominant, I think, from that game.
Yeah, I mean, if this momentum continues, maybe somehow, I don't know if you can get any faster in Game 3, but they'll be looking to beat their record here on Bright Marsh right after this.
The Paladins Console League is brought to you by Evil Mojo Games, developers of Paladins.
Welcome back, guys. Hydra Gaming dusting their hands off for the second game right there on Bright Marsh. They want to continue to go on to win, or at least be on their win streak. They've already got their second game under their belt. This could be their third potential one. And Fiery Impact, he was on the Bomb King last time. He did extremely well this time, and it was actually undying this game around, unlike Stone Keep.
Yeah, and that's, I think, one of the biggest things. A lot of damage came down from them. A lot of aggression just outright from Hydra that bought them a lot of space on that map. Running it by pretty quickly, that is, to be able to maintain that amount of control. You know, they were challenging them to keep it at the same speed. Splitstone Quarry kind of slows it down on itself.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, this is it. Like I said, this could be the potential game, or at least a last win for Hydra Gaming that they would need in this case. I mean, Vivian gets banned out. Atlas as well. Talus, once again, they might stick with the same bans as before, get rid of the Willow. They're actually going to get rid of the Genos this time. Heating up. I mean, they've got the Makoa open once again. They're going to opt to go for the con, though, instead.
Of all the things that are incredibly strong, that was not what I expected to see locked in.
Right.
Willow came to mind, Victor came to mind. Those two picks there, I guess, those two right there. That's the perfect draft from Hydra. I mean, that's exactly what you would want. In an ideal world, Heating Up have grabbed one of these two, probably the Victor, just out of habit, and then you get Willow something else over here for Hydra. But they just scoop up probably the best start of the draft. 2 DPS that are going to be monsters to deal with.
Stranger.
And Leon is going to help, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. With the Genos already gone, they get the Fury on this. Hydra might be locking this one up right now, honestly.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, Willow, Victor, Furia, Makoa. Yeah, that's like a... Oh my goodness. That's like so difficult to deal with. I mean, it doesn't matter at least what you have on this go around. I mean, you get rid of the Genos at the same time. I mean, I'm not sure if they did that to try and counter out, like, I guess Heating Up's champion pool or something. But at the same time, they're going to be able to lock in this Grover. They're going to lock in the Maeve. But Hydra's side, I literally don't know what you can do.
Well, you can hope. This Maeve has to go big on Victor. This Leon has to go big on Willow. They have to have pretty much the perfect counter game to be able to make this work. And Nara is going to be under a lot of damage pressure from Barrack and Makoa. Khan is going to have to win on the side. There's a lot of little kind of matchups here for Heating Up that if they just go wrong, even just one of them goes wrong, I think it all kind of collapses underneath them.
Hydra Gaming, Game 3. This could be it. Their team's looking spicy.
One last one for Hydra to grab the win and keep themselves, I guess, technically within striking distance. But it depends. We got one more game going on in this region. And if that one ends up as a win, nothing else here matters. The sun blaring in the eyes of Splitstone Quarry. Finally, sunglasses come down.
It's like walking out of the vault in Fallout.
It kind of, I don't mind that. Yeah, they walk out of the vault.
Out of the
can't
spawn.
see
I've been in the quarry for years, and here we are now, battling in the light of day.
I thought there was no Strix in this game, but here we are. Hydra. Oh, one more time it snuck up on me there. Hydra. On.
Dave's about
Not
to,
on the
Dave's
point
about to
just
pass
yet,
out.
I
Dave's
know.
whiting out here, and I'll keep us going.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to recover.
Hydra on the point, though. They force the Inara out, kind of low HP, but Leon up top, basically unanswered, more or less. They still have quarry control, but if they don't get out now, I think this is going to just snowball for Hydra.
Yeah,
for
it's
heating up,
for heating up. Well,
Sorry, I'm flashbang too.
and also, that's not something we've said at
You're
all
right,
in
you're
this
right.
set. So heating up are actually going to strike first. Just some good zoning, good spatial control, and heating up, grab point number 1.
And that's really solid on the back of actually different support coming in now for heating up. Looks like Salty Saint on the Grover. I think that should make a pretty big impact considering Caden kind of seemed to be warping around a little bit in game 2. Didn't want to say anything in the moment in case it continued, but they've clearly subbed them out. And this could be a much better look, and it already is. I mean, having a point on the board is a significant improvement to last game.
And Willow, you know, you can't have an impact. The potential impact of Willow is huge. Not going to happen if you're getting picked off by Overpower. So good start for heating up. Whirlwind as well as the Enlightenment. Could keep things rolling here. Hydra Gaming a little bit kind of lean back and defend with Barrage and Flame. And they're going to have the Faith Light. So things not too dire just yet for Hydra, but very, very close, especially with Business going down. Big double kill from Parallax to keep the payload moving.
Great aggression from Parallax, too, knowing exactly what he can get away with. Now here in the bottom right, I don't know if they have a great way to contest, especially with the Willow getting staggered. Yes, the Barracks here, but without the Willow spamming down, there's really no other answer. Hook up top, but Business gets too distracted on the hook and doesn't even move to the cart.
I don't know where this heating up has been this entire set. They now have more points in the first 3 minutes of Splitstone Quarry than they do in the other 2 games of this set combined. So a great start here from them. No kills for Hydra, only deaths. Not too chibi, 0-0-0, but heating up. What a great mid and even better push.
Yeah, I think that was a really, really solid. But they used their mobility on Parallax.
Sure.
Knew how much pressure they could do and focused on the right targets too. I mean, Tyler touches the point. He has Dome Shield. They didn't even give him a chance to think about using it. He went from full to gone right away. The pressure from Kumu, the pressure from Parallax and Airman, really tough for them to overcome. And I wonder what they're going to do on this mid. They don't even have Ancient Rage charged yet. Still not even the first. So not as many options up for Hydra as I'm sure they would have liked.
It's going to be kind of that second wave of ultimates. It'll be there quickly if he's hitting his shots. Midnight, though, that one's immediately ready. He's going to be looking for a target onto the back line. It's Victor right around the corner. Parallax misses the first volley of daggers. But if nothing else, he's forced fiery impact to be careful about where he is. He runs down to join the rest of his team. First blood for Airman onto Mew Mew one more time.
Parallax playing the line of sight so well, never really being in danger. Makoa getting overpowered into the spinners as soon as Ancient Rage is up, and every single ult except for Ancient Rage used by Hydra. And they lost that. Heating up still have 3 left in the tank to keep the snowball going.
Yeah, Ancient Rage back from respawn now. Seismic Crash, Whirlwind, Enlightenment just to stall out Kumu. Looking for a target. Wall maybe looking for a bit of a zone. Seismic Crash rips down, countered out by the Ancient Rage, now swinging away. Fiery Impact grabs the kill as King Business continues to force back, heating up. 81% is where they stall out. Hydra looking for the retake.
Oh, this could be a rough misplay by heating up, though. They moved off of the point to heal the people up front, which made them not have to force for the objective. They didn't dive in because it wasn't really that desperate. And now Hydra, with double comeback, have a much easier time here. Now, heating up basically have to throw themselves onto the point.
It's going to be one last fight. Atrix with the first blood. Oh, the hook nearly into the spinners. Would have been a flashy play there. Doesn't come to fruition. Business back behind this Inara wall. Whirlwind, for heating up, finds a little bit of value. Enlightenment goes searching as well. So now no ultimates except for the barrage. Low health bars for Hydra Gaming. Airman looking to confirm some of it, but Atrix does instead. As convincing as Brightmarsh was, heating up now in the lead. We said that there's no way we'd beat that time, but heating up might do it.
Maybe. I mean, that was a contested fight, so I think it's already been won.
I
think the fight is still out of reach, at least hitting that time from last game. But this Victor, only 10 damage ahead of the Leon. Now that headshot's a little bit different, but still, Atrix, Parallax, and Airman, none of them have died yet. Only Salty Saint and Kumu from the very beginning of that fight. Still playing safe enough where they're not really able to be punished.
Yep.
Defensive Fae Flight from Mew Mew. Midnight won't blind the Willow because of the CC immunity, but will blind everybody else, and they're able to take some position to keep this cart rolling.
I mean, not that you can really point out anyone's slash lines on Hydra because they're all not looking all that great, but the kind of lack of Willow presence in this game I think has been pretty difference-making for Hydra. Normally that's someone you expect to have arguably the most impact on this game, but it just hasn't been there.
Especially on this map, which is great for Willow, against an Inara, who kind of gets hit the hardest by that dead zone. Trying to take a duel against a Leon. Probably not going to win, and he'd get one a snowball off of that pick.
Fiery Impact is able to stall out just a moment, where Parallax is playing this left-hand side relatively passively at the moment. Looked like he might jump in, but connects on a few daggers and pulls back. There's a minute left. I mean, Hydra, they need to make their stand here. Totally different look on heating up from what we've seen at all in this set, and really this split. I mean, they are 0-9, but they've won some maps here and there, and this is another one they look to win.
Yeah, I think with Salty Saint back in the roster, things are looking a lot more synergistic for heating up.
Sure.
Nothing really too different about their play. They definitely look like a team that has been taking maps off of a bunch of other teams. Rowan used in main to try to save the Khan, and it barely does.
Wow.
Khan almost going down, but Atrix saved at the last moment by Salty Saint. Hydra, though, they're still kind of holding strong, but this overpower, that's changed things.
Yeah, it's a great overpower, better hook. Parallax is able to dash out some good body blocks from Atrix, prevents King Business from finding really anything. I mean, he's alive, but that's it. Getting some healing from the Furia. Dome Shield goes down as well. Shell Spin finds its way in. Parallax gets hooked in, but just gets the kill onto King Business. Melted down. Izzy Tyler on the front line, keeping Hydra in this fight.
Fiery Impact still spamming almost uncontested from the far right side here. Atrix very low, which means the tanks that are going to contest the objective will not be really healthy. It has to be the Leon, and Airman goes down for it.
Chibi grabs the kill. Mew Mew gets a number in the kill column finally for himself here. Much more impactful. Double kill to round it out. Hydra get themselves on the board. Now they have fast cap going into this mid. Ultimates, you know, kind of left and right. They have the Inflame, and that's what's important.
Yeah, for sure. The Inflame is really big on these mid fights for Hydra. I think with Willow Victor, they have to catch heating up overextended.
Yeah.
More so than really go in with it. They don't have that aggressive pressure from their DPSs that they would need to really capitalize off of it. If they had a Fae Flight, maybe they could work that combo. If Mew Mew charges it enough, they could execute with that very quickly. But again, it is going to come down to how aggressive are heating up into the face of this. And just considering they only have Seismic Crash and soon to be Midnight, maybe not super forward. It really depends on how effective they think this Midnight will be.
And they'll have a Whirlwind up quickly as well. That's at 92%, so something to take note of as well. Fighting from the point right now. Kumu going toe-to-toe with Izzy Tyler. So that's a Barrack versus Nara fight. Not much action, but a lot of health there, and the sustained battle goes to heating up. As now they're looking to get aggressive. The good Inflame, though, puts Izzy Tyler in a position where he can now overpower Parallax. Not the ultimate, but just good old-fashioned damage-wise. Airman gets the kill, so it's a one-for-one trade at the start of this mid.
He doesn't realize the hit scan presence in the right business doesn't get the insta-give hook, but they might find the insta-give overpower. Can't go to the fidgets because the Makoa is in the way, but the rest of the damage on the team is going to be enough, and now business a little bit overextended. Parallax and Atrix definitely want to trade this because 45% and potentially climbing for them. This could be their first map of the set.
Nobody really on the point yet. Finally, Kumu gets back onto the point for heating up. Hydra Gaming needing to fight back in right now. Good hook onto Atrix, pulls him back into the rest of the team. King Business stays alive, into the shield he goes. They just need one more shot, but he gets some healing and stays alive. In the meantime, Fiery Impact grabs the kill. Kumu goes down, as well as Parallax, and suddenly Hydra Gaming taking control of this fight.
I can't believe that the Makoa
Unbelievable.
I want to point out that he had a dash up that entire time when he was shielding and just didn't use it at 400 HP with a Mave next to him. I don't know what to say about that. I was the tank main in me was screaming that just dash away, but either way it worked out. The Fury in a perfect position to save him, and it gets them another point on the back of that sustain. And Heating Up just not being able to finish that kill.
Important thing. Important small moments lead to these big moments where Hydra Gaming now can tie up this game as fast as the first 3 points were for Heating Up. Hydra Gaming have pushed themselves back into this one. Inflame is up, as well as 3 other ultimates for Hydra. Faithlight will be ready shortly. So that could be a big driving force, and teams have sort of started to figure out how to fight here on Splitstone, and Hydra Gaming looking to take that fight to Heating Up right now.
Yeah, as long as you have a solid backline, if your backline wins that duel, it can be a little bit easier.
Right.
Using ultimates sometimes to break through this choke is kind of necessary, but kind of tough for Hydra to be able to do it with this pressure from Airman. Airman's so low, but he still gets a kill, and that heals him, so he lives through another shot, but 3 people on you. Leon's good. She's not that good.
Parallax is... I was trying to find out where the Maeve... Okay, so Maeve has now rejoined the fight. Parallax was back towards, like, the point there for a little bit. Mew, Faithlight ready, trying to dodge out a few daggers from Parallax. Things getting traded out back and forth. Hydra feeling okay about where they're at on this push. They win this game, they win the set. At least keep Onslaught at bay, but if Onslaught are winning the other set that's going on, then they're through regardless. But Hydra looking to do their job and at least give themselves a chance.
This Victor's doing a lot for Hydra Gaming. Fiery Impact. Really, really tough, I think, for them to pin down. They've gotten a few times where he's been forced out by Parallax, but never really going down the same way. Atrix is... I swear to God, we just saw this.
We did.
Did we accidentally... Did someone accidentally rewind? And now we're stuck watching.
We're on the opposite, area, but...
No, I mean the same exact hook in with the Victor shooting at him.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like we just saw that exact exchange happen, but this time, worse for wear, the con does go down. Still good pressure from this Victor, though. King Business actually diving into the back line. Pressured by Airman, forced out a little bit by the Leon, but manages to survive, and that could be a big deal for the refight from Hydra.
Health bar direly low onto the Makoa before getting some healing. Overtime will begin if Hydra Gaming are in range to get a touch. What looks like Izzy Tyler is able to do so. Big wall is going to separate the fight, but down goes the wall, and Airman to plug away some damage as well. Kind of 2 faces of engagement here. A Makoa and a Victor facing off now. Parallax gets hooked in, counters out the kill that Airman was able to find. They step off just for a second. Izzy Tyler goes down, and that forced King Business to roll through. No point for Hydra, but a chance to win this mid yet again.
The fight could have been a lot longer, but neither team wanted to spend any ultimates.
Yeah.
No matter what happened, the next fight was potentially a game end. So you want as many resources as possible. If Hydra pushes, then it's 3-3, either team can end. Hydra don't push, the situation we're in now, still, Heating Up could win, so neither team really, really wanting to waste anything. And now 5-on-5 ultimate-wise, this Inflame, we got to see something out of it. We could see the Faithlight combo with it. That's definitely one way to make it work aggressively, but I honestly wouldn't be too surprised to see it paired with an Ancient Rage.
Sure.
Force them back, let your Willow get aggressive on the side, and the Ancient Rage will force them maybe into angles that your Willow and Victor are covering.
Yeah, I think Mew needs to have a good mid fight here. The Willow has been sometimes not impactful in this game. Inflame starts.
Yeah, Inflame starts and they're trying to pressure in with it, but most of it's just denied by Atrix here on the backside. Now, King Business still behind them. Mew up top, actually, behind with the Faithlight, doing a lot of spam. Cap Time still on the side of Hydra, but Airman rotates onto the bleachers, catches Mew out while he was trying to fly, and not much he could do for that. Great rotation by Airman.
Absolutely crushes that health bar. 58% for Hydra here, so they at least get themselves onto the point and stall Heating Up. Only Enlightenment for Heating Up, Ancient Rage, and Barrage for Hydra, so they still have some utility to maybe fight back in here. Just now, Heating Up surpassing Hydra.
This position by Airman is so tough for them to deal with. Ancient Rage used just to come in, and the Barrage, but the shells aren't really connecting. Now they do onto the Inara without DR, but Overpower pulling away Tyler. The sustain game now drastically in Heating Up's favor.
Airman looking for just a few more shots. Hatsuchibi gets a good kill onto Parallax. Airman pushed back, Enlightenment doesn't connect back into the fight now as Fiery Impact to Atrix is able to get the kill on. Business somehow staying alive down in that low ground. Mew back in the fight as well. A double kill from the con, overtime expiring. Hydra Gaming, though, are able to get in and grab themselves a touch on the point.
Position from Mew Mew is really good to keep this up as long as Tyler can stay alive. Just ignore Parallax. You have to help your point tank right now. Dropping down, but Tyler drops as well. The Flutter doesn't get him back onto the high ground, and Furia tried to touch, but just a little bit too late.
Heating up, grab themselves a win, and it did not look like for the first two games that win was coming for Heating Up. They buy themselves enough of a cushion with the first 3 points in this game. Good fight back from Hydra. We got one more game to decide it.
Yeah, and the ultimate usage there at the end, I thought the Fae Flight was actually really effective.
Yeah.
But the Inflame just, I don't think it got what it needed to. They got too stalled out by that Con. Just that 8k health Con shield.
Yeah.
Maybe, I think it's less than that actually, but it was too much of a wall for an inflamed Makoa and Victor.
Yeah, and look at healing number differential was about 100,000 there. Salty Saint had 247, excuse me, thousand healing there. Hatsu Chibi was kind of in that 150,000 category, so important to look at. Airman, though, throughout this game, I mean, I was harping on the lack of Willow impact, and a lot of that's thanks to this Leon.
Yeah, because the Leon was just able to counteract it, I think, really effectively. Also, winning these trades at medium range, normally, sometimes you can struggle against a Victor, at least on console specifically, in these backline trades. But Leon, as long as you can connect the first shot, presence, shot, cancel your shot with your presence to make that happen. As long as you connect those, you're almost always going to win. It's just a lot more pressure on the Leon to hit every shot, whereas the Victor has that, consistent mag. But Airman consistently, I think, on the better end of that trade.
Yeah, and little moments like that where he's, one shot away from dying, and again, he's able to trade. I mean, he gets up, gets the last shot on the Makoa, does end up going down, but that stalls out Hydra, and they have to go, searching for maybe one more fight here and there. Big win from Heating Up. This one starting to hang in the balance. Hydra still one win away from taking the set. Find out if they can do it right after this.
Alienware, the official PC provider of the Paladins Console League.
Without you, and I just can't be. Without you, baby, want you all night long. Want you all night long. Tell me, why'd you have to go and drive me so crazy? Now I'm feeling lost without you, and I just can't be. Without you, baby, want you all night long. Want you all night long. Want you all night, 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 want you all night. Tell me, why'd you have to go and drive me so crazy? Now I'm feeling lost without you, and I just can't be. Without you, baby, want you all night long. Want you all night long.
Heating Up, finally showing up, at least in this case. I mean, Gore, you had mentioned it a little bit before. It was a 3-0 every single time up until today, which the Heating Up at this point, 1-2. I mean, I don't know what else it is that they can do. Hopefully they can keep this going.
Yeah, that's going to be the big question, is whether or not, well, they are heating up, or if that was just a kind of one and done for them to be able to kind of come through. A lot of the problems that you face when you go down 2-0 early, though, is that you get map number 3, and that is your only map choice that gets to come through. You get to choose one of those first two, but now you're going to Hydra Gaming's choice.
Right.
Now you're going to be pretty much in the zone they want to be. Jaguar Falls is a map very similar to Bright Marsh, and based on how fast that one was, is dangerous territory for Heating Up.
Right, exactly. I mean, having these close on quarters, I mean, we've seen it. We have seen it pretty much be, I guess, bad is the only word I can think of right now for Heating Up in these very close quarter sort of maps. I mean, Stone Keep was definitely not necessarily one of them, but when you try and fight and keep, you try and contest them, it's going to be a problem. Saw the issues there. Hydra took that one. Hydra took Bright Marsh. Heating Up to the last map, but now that we're on Jaguar Falls, seems like we're back in Hydra's familiar territory, and now they're going to first pick the Ashe too.
And I can see it with Khan being banned out. It's one of those things that kind of catches you off guard, just because, you've been mentioning it. Makoa is still available, but Ashe brings something to the table along with a Barrack. Fits very, very well with the Genos, both of which still available. So while you give up the Willow, this isn't really your best map, so you can get away with that. It's going to be a little crushing, but I mean, we've already seen she lost, what, last game? So it's not too far-fetched to think that she's going to have maybe some troubles this game as well.
Leon and Zen being
see
hovered.
my
Leon's going to
banners,
be locked in.
run.
Zen still being hovered, but we'll have to see if Hydra actually going to go through with this one. Okay, interesting. Why the Zen now? Is it just to make sure Tyra does not have an easier time so that way Leon doesn't have to look out for 2 targets? But I feel like you could have did that with like Eevee or something.
It depends on what they go for. If they go Yomi, then it's just good old-fashioned damage, and this is a pretty decent map for him overall. But if they go for something like Guillotine, that slices through Makoa, it slices through whatever other tank they get. Tyra is notably one of the tankier DPS, so it also would help maybe against her.
Okay.
And it's that very, like, small area. Also, I believe Billow cleanses the Tyra mark.
It does, it does.
So you have that ability to kind of have that thrown at you, have that damage that ordinarily would be dealt to you, and you just ignore it for a little bit. And you also get that little bit of immunity from Billow just in general.
Okay, well, the Terminus. All right.
Also, insta-gib on Terminus if you go Guillotine.
True, yeah. I mean, well, this is the draft that is that Heating Up already has. I mean, theirs is looking pretty solid. Hydra's, though,
yeah,
they're no team to slouch on, at least as far as it is I know.
This is really difficult to toss up. I mean, there's a lot of good things about both. I think Heating Up, in general, have more great on their draft, but Hydra so far has brought the play.
Yeah, we'll have to see if Hydra can close this out or if Heating Up can at least tie it up.
Good fight back from Heating Up on Splitstone Core. You're going to need one more on Jaguar Falls and then one more in Game 5 should we get there. Hydra looking to end it all right here. And they get a Zen for their side. What was it, 67% win rate we said? But I know that Onslaught definitely played themselves a good bit of the Zen. Well, good bit, maybe an overstatement.
Think so. I'm honestly not sure. I just said, I wonder how much of that win rate is inflated by potentially Onslaught.
I think it definitely is a little bit inflated by Onslaught.
Well, we'll have to see. This Terminus could be a decent, I think, answer. Pretty solid point tank sustain. I believe running Crush, you gotta be if you're running a build like that for sure. Be a little tougher, honestly, to find some good execution with that Crush. Late game, once Rezil's online, it gets a lot harder. Pretty aggressive by the Willow here. Hydra kind of locked out here on the choke. Tyler very, very low. Not able to really get healed up. And again, that's the weakness that we said of the Genos. Not able to spread those heals and burst someone back into the fight.
All Heating Up all day. One more time here as Hydra get themselves back to the point, but all the kills are for the red side. Parallax looking to just cleave out some damage. Izzy Tyler walks into a world of hurt, absolutely exploded by the Willow. Fiery Impact looking to hit a couple shots here, but Parallax just forces him all the way around the backside of the fight. King's Business does shoulder bash in, gets stunned out just behind the shield a little bit, but still getting chunked down from every direction. Overtime expiring here as Hydra look to contest.
I'm still in shell shock of Tyler walking over 5 seedlings and then getting CC'd by them. But Airman, Tyra, I think one of her strengths is being a little bit more sustaining, I would say, than some of the other back lines. Victor has his cardio, but Tyra definitely has a little bit more bulk than Victor. Slightly less than Vivian, but still able to brawl out with that Leon in close range, even with that Lightman coming in. I don't think she can really lose that trade now. Heating Up in a pretty solid position here. Parallax using the Fae Flight to get a little bit aggressive potentially, but doesn't really want to give up the height to go pressure Secret.
He is going to plug away some damage at Fiery Impact, who's able to step out, grab the kill onto Airman, and regress himself back to the staircase. So Fae Flight goes searching. Kumu far forward looking for one more kill. King Business hooked on in, shoulder bash for some DR. Gets him back out around the corner, and this is a big fight for Hydra, and they're going to take all of the territory from Heating Up.
That lifesteal on the Ashe actually kept King Business alive for so long. I mean, 2 shots, then a Genos Mark came in, and then the Boop gave him 140 more health, just barely edging out the Makoa damage to keep that pressure up. And Fire Impact can get away with a lot here. I mean, this aggressive positioning, Xin can really just kind of do this. I mean, Billow, it's shorter now, but there's still not really much of an answer. Killed for by his team, but Ancient Rage used just to finally chase down the Xin. A quick turnaround from Heating Up.
Yeah, and the damage dealers are gone right now from Hydra. Kumu just trying to chop away at the,
I feel it.
The dome shield there. Get out of my way, please. This King Business is the last to fall in this re-engage. 4 members of Hydra now zoned back in their base. Heating Up moving forward with 48 seconds remaining.
Gotta say, I feel the nimble 2 buy on Kumu too. I've seen some Cauterize, I think, bought in the PCL on Terminus before, and I really disagree. I just don't think the swing is consistent enough. Time and Space, I think, connecting on the Tyra, but she's able to just barely get away. Assert Dominance, very aggressive play, but it's countered out by the Whirlwind from Salty Saint.
Mew as well, moving forward out of the base. Enlightenment does not connect for a kill here as Kumu continuing to swing away. And this Terminus is sustaining himself in these fights. Airman, big game last time on the Leon, having a great start to this one on the Tyra. Mew, just a couple shots goes searching for a target. And the payload goes searching for a capture, and it finds it. 2-0 up, go heating up.
The burst from Grover plus the damage reduction from the Willow makes that duel almost unwinnable. Honestly, this early in the game when you don't really have full Cauterize online, so tough to make anything like that happen. And this was that aggressive push that Hydra had earlier, but I think they got a little overzealous from it, not being able to hit that whirl out from the Zin.
Right.
Forcing him to use the Billow through the main choke point, I think really, really punished them. And Zin still topping the damage charts, just a little bit above Mew, but I think that's just Yomi really cleaving through. These teams definitely a little bit clumped to try to benefit from Salty Saint's Grover play.
Yeah, absolutely. And at 0-1-14, that Grover play is good.
A lot of assists this early.
He was 007 and then died and then has gone 007 since then for the 7 streak. Heating up 5 streaks. Hydra Gaming only with the Spite. Heating up, have some great ultimates to take this one. Faithlight first used by Parallax. And they're in the back line looking for some targets. Fiery Impact is the first one he comes across. Spite connects. This time onto Kumu. Doesn't get the kill. The Faithlight, doesn't find too much, but does get him in a position where he's starting to capitalize a double kill from the Willow. One more time, heating up, find themselves in a great spot.
Honestly, if that Spite even got the kill, that's still the worst possible target to go for on their team, I feel. They have Terms Reanimate up. That's just getting rid of one of the 6 players, basically, because the 5th is going to be coming back immediately after. Well, they're trying to get aggressive here, but the Whirlwind is going to make it so they can't really find any kills, and the Ashe can't even make it to the point. There's just too much damage in main.
I don't know what the heck is going on, because it looked like Hydra were going to run away with this set, and it was not going to be close, and suddenly heating up are the ones doing the same. 3-0, they were up last time 3-0, and things got delayed just a little bit longer. They were able to win. If nothing else, they've got themselves in a perfect spot to just need to capture one more, and Atrix pops the Ancient Rage. Health bars diminish for Hydra as heating up now. Break that first choke.
Yeah, and I think having Salty Saint in is just such a big difference maker for them. I mean, 2-1-20 on a 15 streak. Significant performance considering how much we saw Caden going down on the first 2 maps. I think that really is the big difference maker. We'll see if they can keep this momentum up. Hydra want to keep their potential land dreams, land hopes still going. Right now, the Fire Impact trying to contest on the left side, but no one's even stopping the cart. It's still moving in, and Kuma's low, but he still has Reanimate.
And the Dome Shield drops down from Izzy Tyler to buy some space. Airman, first one to die, but it looks like Izzy Tyler was still standing into the firebomb. The Tyra was dead, and Izzy Tyler dropped at the end of it. Salty Saint gets the kill. Kumu moving forward. He has the Reanimate if need be. Contesting back on the point. The respawns are out from Hydra. They're going to start flowing through here, rampaging and heating up. And as frankly bad as they looked in the first couple of games, they take this one 4-0, and we got a game 5.
Yeah, complete 180 turn there. That assert dominance, I think that's the best way you play around it. When you know assert dominance on the card is contesting the objective, just leave whoever your tankiest player is on the card and deal with everything else. Take that 4v4. That's basically all that assert dominance really is at that point. An overpower can force a 5v4, but you just take that 4v4, you contest the objective, and burn through the rest of their team as quickly as possible.
Well, I don't know. At this point, I'm not sure who I favor in the last one. Another 100,000 healing discrepancy. I mean, it's quite literally 90,000 here, but Salty Saint in a fast game gets himself 143,000 healing in a 4-1-23/5.
That's, considering the length of that game, I mean, that was a pretty uncontested 4-0. Was that a sub 10-minute game? If so, that's way over 10K a minute, which I would say is the baseline for what you'd want your healers to be doing. You gotta say something for Hydra's consistency. 2 and 6 across the
2
board.
and 6 is the slash line to have. Yeah, I guess. And then 0 kills for the healer and the frontliner. Parallax. We saw an example of a Willow that was searching for a little bit more impact on Splitstone. Parallax I think, had a pretty great game on the Willow this time around.
Parallax definitely showed Mew how it's done.
Yeah.
For sure, pulling out the constant just AoE we saw chasing around the corner. That's a huge part of the impact.
Right.
And also the dead zone being used on the assert dominancing Ashe there is bigger than you think. Just denying the healing while they're invincible
Right.
really does negate a lot of the effectiveness that assert dominance could have had. That's only 2k HP being put back into the pool afterwards.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I posed the question, does Heating Up has the most momentum right now, right?
Yeah.
It's maybe picks and bans. It looked like they weren't going to get themselves a single win in this set, and suddenly they're starting to completely overpower Hydra. One more game, remember, I mean, you pointed it out. This is important. Hydra lose this one, they don't even have a chance, much less hoping that Onslaught lose the other game. So this is an important one. Game 5, right after this.
Respawn, the official gaming chair of the Paladins Console League.
Welcome back in, guys. Of course, they ended up tying it up. Heating Up versus Hydra Gaming, both of them pretty much being directly at each other's necks right now. I mean, they did extremely well on Jaguar Falls. I mean, I don't know what else to say.
It's mind-blowing to me to see how well Heating Up have done these last two games in comparison to the first two. I mean, it is night and day from both of these teams as to what we've seen as it's flipped over. And, you know, you got to see it. Parallax towards the end there definitely was able to pick it up, showcase what Willow was meant to do, and maybe why she will be banned out potentially for this last map.
Of course, we'll have to see, of course, where we're going for the final game, at least game 5 in this case. It's going to be Serpent Beach is what we're going to be ending on.
Pretty standard, honestly, as far as things go. Most of these maps, other than Splitstone Quarry, have been a straight shot. This one's good for snipers, potential to see Strix come out here, or, again, potentially banned away. Drogoz has always been pretty potent here. Depends on the teams as to whether or not they want to pull him out. This is also another map that, like Jag Falls, you can maybe pull some things out to try it out. I mean, we've seen in the last week some bucks show up here, and while I'm not saying we're going to see it, it's not something I'm opposed to seeing.
Right, exactly. I mean, it's going to be the fact of whether are they going to try and get rid of the Willow this time? What are they going to try and opt to go for? I mean, they've left the Makoa open. I believe it's pretty much every game at this point. No one's really been banning him. More prioritization on the Atlas. So, of course, we're about to see what they're going to opt to go to ban for. And the Grover's going to be the first one. That's interesting.
I don't mind that on this map just because of the specific playstyles that it can come with. Grover, very, very good, nice wide radius, can heal Waterfall and Point or Sundial and Point, whichever side he's deciding to stand on. And he's got a pretty good amount of damage that comes through for Serpent Beach as well. Long-range axes that are going to enable him to maybe hit a little harder than you want out of a support. So not surprising to see him banned, but I think kind of surprising maybe signifies a specific kind of playstyle Hydra don't want to deal with.
Yeah, both Khan, Genos. Khan locked in for the second. Genos locked in for the third pick overall. Hydra Gaming, though, they're going to stick to their guns, literally, and opt to go for the hit scan first. Makoa, though, Nara. Now that's a good frontline duo already.
That's a good frontline duo. I just have to repeat that phrase in case you don't get it. That is a good frontline duo. Plus a Victor. It's a very, very clean control coming out for them, right? I mean, Victor's going to give you the long-range damage, plus the grenade, plus the barrage. A lot in those three things that are going to give you burst or poke or sometimes just straight up a kill. And then Makoa, good hooks, makes it easier for Victor to connect his shots. And Nara going to have control on the point. Potentially fighting over here with a Barrack, but With Genos taken, leaves pretty much any support open other than the Grover. This is where it does get a little hairy on console, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was like a Furia.
Yeah, I can understand that too. I mean, I was more so impressed. Well, there you go. I was more so impressed by the Strix. I mean, on Serpent Beach, we've seen snipers be brought out before. Yeah. It's nothing too foreign. It's just the fact is that, you know, I haven't seen him. I mean, like for most of these console games, actually.
He was played a little earlier in the second set. Does really well in the right hands, and that's kind of the, I think the caveat at the side that you have to keep in mind. It does kind of put Hydra more on the long-range snipery side of play with Victor and Strix, so they're not going to have as much in-your-face damage to kind of accompany the Makoa, which means to me, Makoa is going to kind of be aggressing alone, but they have the Mave to counter it out. We'll have to see how they handle it.
Yeah, this is it, guys. The final game, Hydra Gaming versus Heating Up. This is going to be it.
Heating Up, looking to move their way here into Game 5 after going down 2-0 convincingly. They then strike back, tie this one up 2-2. Serpent Beach awaits in the wings. We get another look at Strix on this map. Apparently he works everywhere, and Serpent Beach is certainly no exception to that. Yeah. Serpent Beach
you can play
is
Strix
somewhere.
Anywhere. And that's what I was going to say, and I'm kind of sad you took it from me, because Serpent Beach is a place.
Well, you know, Strix kind of works anywhere.
And Serpent Beach is a where. It isn't anywhere. I'd say that would count there. And we got to see how it works on console, because I feel like we saw it earlier. Kind of a weird build that they ran, no extra ammo initially. Now, this is what Infused Crystals 2 is, I would say, the standard, and it wasn't being ran before. So this is more what we'd expect. Max Dexterous to, I think, get more use out of the Flare. And this, I think, could be a good look for Hydra, depending on how their point control goes. All of the con shield burned more or less immediately now. No kills yet, and the first kill actually does come in, but it's for Heating Up.
Airman grabs it. Airman's been pretty consistent after a tough first couple of games. Airman has been a saving grace for this Heating Up lineup. Parallax as well on this Mave. Big impact on Splitstone Quarry. Looking for the same on Serpent Beach. Heating Up 72% for them. Hydra Gaming looking to retake now. Gonna drop down the Inara just to try to contest here. Strix still alive for Fiery Impact. Connects, nearly one-shots Parallax, who gets out alive, gets some healing, and Kumu ends up being the first one to go down. Finally, finishing off the kill.
This is where Makoa is so powerful at pulling people just into sidelines they don't want to be in, but Heating Up not dying on the point might come back to bite them. 48% now. They have 84, so if they win this fight, no chance for Hydra to come back, but they still kind of have a pretty big hill to climb if they want to make it to the point at all. Left side uncontested, but with a headshot rattling onto the Leon, that lowers their chances to fight at all.
There was a barrack, I believe Kumu in range, but Business grabs the hook, grabs the kill. Fiery Impact just zoning out this right-hand side, needs one more shot onto the Mave. Don't even need that. First point goes over to Hydra. And what we've seen, the team that kind of strikes first on these maps tends to end up winning.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong being able to win these games.
Not that that's a science, but...
well, it can snowball really effectively.
Sure.
If teams are evenly matched, then just getting that initial 300 credit advantage across the board, 1,500 for collectively, but that's enough to swing a game if the teams are closely matched. We'll have to see how Hydra decide to push this. I would say their attacking composition might be a little worse because they really have no high ground control.
Right.
But if the best high ground, I think, fighter from Heating Up drops down and dies like Parallax just did, it's going to make things significantly easier for them.
Through time and space connects, but the shots from Fiery Impact just a little bit better. Strix doing wonders here for Hydra, 5-0-2. And a good 10,000 damage above the next in the game. Parallax gets the kill onto Fiery Impact, putting a stall out on that, but that was an onslaught there for the first couple of minutes of this game.
Strix is pretty good, you know.
You don't say.
You know, I was surprised, I was shocked, appalled, but I think Strix is pretty playable. This is we have found out that Serpent Beach is definitely a place. You were right.
It exists.
And what we said before is true, and he's having a really solid, I think, presence in this game so far. It's very tough to peek any angles when 1,200 or 1,800 health is awaiting you, but Seismic Crash just on the perfect ledge catches Parallax around the corner, and that's going to snowball too for the Leon.
That's right. The rest of this fight is going to start to steamroll out of control here in favor of Hydra and against Heating Up. They're back on the respawns. A couple members still left alive, looking for maybe a full 5-strong push. The payload continues to march forward. Fiery Impact does not use the flashbang. I think it's just back on cooldown for some reason. Didn't quite see it get tossed out there.
That's crazy to me.
The small rock ledge did see it get tossed out because, or maybe not, because it was flashbanged. All things considered, though, Fiery Impact continuing to have a good presence here in the back line.
And holding here, this is so tough because who on that team until Parallax is up and ready to move in can really contest him. And now Parallax is making a move for it, but he could potentially be saved by the Victor under him. Airman now in position to fight Nora, but look, they're stopping this pressure from the side. 2 people are focusing on Fiery Impact, and if he just wins this 2v1, which Strix can absolutely do, that's a huge resource waste for heating up.
Yeah, Atrix gets a kill, and actually Airman adds one to pull it even. Izzy Tyler, though, in the front line, big 2 kills from the Inara. It's King Business continuing to contest this payload. One last hook, one last shot onto Atrix. Now Hydra Gaming just need 2 more points to take this set.
That was a great play, I think, by Fiery, just holding them off up top. If he went down immediately, then Hydra could have reconnected at ASAP onto the objective and focused down the targets they needed to, but he bought so much time in that upper area. It made it so difficult for them to be able to fight back, and I mean, Parallax went down for it too. That's an immediate advantage that he gave to the team.
These shots, it's hard. It's hard to fight into it. 5-2 and 5 top damage in the game. It's never going to be easy. And Hatsu Chibi, Izzy Tyler, both undying so far. 2 points into this one.
3, 2,
and I mean,
1.
Is that on Parallax to dive the Strix, or do you just have to win the fight elsewhere and then deal with the deep backline?
I think you just have to be able to play out of his sidelines. But the Makoa and Inara, I think, are so good at forcing people into the right places. Through time and spaces could connect too. Overpower also might have to connect as well. 2 ultimates spent maybe to stop the Strix that both just go wide.
And he knows Parallax is behind him. Misses the quick scope flare as well. Goes searching, but he drops down, hits the shot. Parallax catches a Strix bullet to the face. Inflame from Hydra. Put them in the driver's seat of this fight. Heating up back on respawn. Still a chance to get in as Hydra only at 42%.
So tough for them to walk into a Strix, though. They need to have Parallax find him immediately, still full HP, able to rotate and stealth away. Kumu will have a chance to get in. Depends on how long he waits here. Did the wall go up in time? Hard to tell. Looks like no, because the point's not contested. But Airman moves up quickly up top left, catches Mew Mew, and it's going to make it a little bit easier to pressure here.
That's a big trade out for sure. 93% for Hydra. Ancient Rage swinging away. Is going to get a hook in onto Airman, but not enough to keep him up onto the high. Gets the Enlightenment, but he misses the shot just wide right, or if he connected, didn't find any kills with it, so things start to slow down here. Hatsu Chibi and Mew Mew, though, a couple kills now for Hydra.
Because Kumu went down, though, no one's really able to contest the point. Atrix has to give up the fight that he's taking on the left to drop to the objective and just, I mean, he was 100 HP, backing up into 3 members of the enemy team. There's no getting away from that one. Now Hydra back in a good position. They find an early pick, this could help, but they don't really have a way to take the high ground. They have to kind of play off of the mistakes that heating up might make.
Yeah, they really just had to, I think it was a big double kill from Fiery Impact. Through time and space planted the Genos, and then Fiery Impact was able to add a couple of kills. Not gonna happen this moment though, with the overpower. Kill you in particular there, says Atrix.
That cut made me think he got a kill. I thought he got like a no-scope from the other side of the map, but I was like about to freak out immediately. Thankfully realized what happened, but...
That would have been pretty absurd.
That would have been kind of sick. I think that would have been in highlight reels for literally years to come.
Yes.
If that had been the case. But it wasn't, and that presence being gone is kind of a big deal, but even without the Strix there, they managed to take a lot of ground and might be able to turn this, but this Midnight's going to slow things down a lot.
This is it for heating up. They use the Midnight. Parallax looking to dive the backline. Low health bars. Atrix as well. Just needs a couple kills. Stunned out Izzy Tyler instead. Grabs the kill onto Atrix as Fiery Impact tosses out the flare. Connects Seismic Crash. Maybe seals up this game. Barrage plugs away some good damage. And the frontliners for heating up are all worse for wear as the payload stalled out maybe one last time.
And Airman could have contested Fiery, but he has to drop down to fight the cart instead. Enlightenment doesn't connect on anything. Even with this overpower being used,
right.
I think he has a dash
Oh,
to come
no!
right back. No Ancient Rage, but still, that's destroying so much time, and now they can deal with Parallax.
Yeah, they're focused all on King Business. The hook connected onto Parallax on the high ground. Nothing came of it, though. Izzy Tyler now void gripped up. Things finally starting to slow down for heating up. Looked like for a moment Hydra were going to really run away with that one. In Flame, though, you have to look at that as a maybe game changer.
And Ancient Rage.
And Ancient
I mean,
Rage,
both
yeah.
of those combined is going to be a really big deal, and no one can really peek this doorway because you're walking into a Strix that's hitting the majority of the
Ow.
shots.
Ow.
Flare burning away now, such low HP in that orange side. In Flame now baits Parallax in at 5v4, and they're 30% damage boost. That's massive.
And those health bars are absolutely draining for heating up Dome Shield. King Business is just going to fight into it, just needs one more shot. Atrix goes down, Barrick lives to fight another day, but the health bar, it's just not there. Airman slides down, Payload moving its way in, Parallax the last line of defense, and he's just that as Hydra make things maybe a little longer than they needed to, but they win game 5.
Great turnaround from them. That Strix, I think, was a massive part of it. So tough for them to be able to cross that distance and get in. They had the aggressive tanks on the side with the Strix. I mean, what's the answer? What do you do?
Yeah, and you know, they are able to win this one, but Onslaught were able to win their set 3-0 over Stremex. So kind of regardless of what happened here, Onslaught are now confirmed. They're coming here to Atlanta for the Hi-Rez Expo qualifiers. They have a 3-win gap over Hydra Gaming with only 2 weeks left after today. So congratulations, big congratulations to Onslaught. But if nothing else, good consolation prize is Hydra at least being able to seal up this set.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, you play the games for practice. You play the games just to get better as a team. And I think that was a good show of Hydra's ability to adapt and change for what's trying to be the biggest pressure against them,
Agreed.
right? Parallax getting out-damaged by Salty Saint and going 2-12.
Ow.
Huge change from the game that we saw before. Parallax, I think, being a really big deal in Splitstone, but Hydra, they changed things up. They saw what he was doing and figured out how to deal with it.
And a 4-0 and 21 for Hatsu Chibi. Great performance from the healer. Wouldn't you guess it, though? Fiery Impact at 10-3 and 13 put his mark on this game. And maybe the reason that Hydra were able to win it.
And honestly, if we keep seeing performances like this by Strix in the console league, I would expect to see Strix basically everywhere all the time. He's banned in PPL. We maybe a little bit less in PML, I would say.
Sure.
But he's such a presence now, such a force to be dealt with now that people are finally realizing the impact that a Strix can have on the game if he connects. I mean, 9 shots in the sniper rifle, 1,200 damage a bullet. You can take down the entire team if you hit the right headshots.
Yeah, and it creates an interesting dynamic in picks and bans as well. I mean, now with Torvald not being so much in that conversation, Willow draws bans a lot of the time in our other leagues. Now Strix is maybe starting to be in that conversation, so maybe some stuff starting to get shifted around. But once you have it, Hydra, they grab themselves the win in Game 5, but Onslaught off-stream, they win their set 3-0. They punch their tickets to the Hi-Rez Expo qualifiers. So this region, it's all done with 2 weeks left. Congratulations to Onslaught. We got one more set, another region where Hype Unit, they're already confirmed. They got a game, though, right after this.
SteelSeries, the official peripheral provider of the Paladins console league.